Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is not a Spawn Trap reaction. I'm doing this as a solo stream reaction. I still don't have a new setup for reaction streams like this. I keep forgetting I have to work on it. Apparently, Annapurna Interactive did a showcase. I think over the weekend. It was on the 28th. I didn't even know about it. I'm like, wait, they had a showcase? I didn't even know about it. So I reached out to Spawn Trap and I was like, does anybody want to do a reaction to this? Um, I got I got I got an odd response from Court. Nobody else responded, and I'm like, I'm not figuring out when we're gonna do a group reaction to this without responses because we're already late on the reaction on this. So I'm just gonna do it as a solo reaction. Maybe I'll upload this to Spawn Trap so it's a different layout. It's not on our branding. I'm doing this as a stream on my channel, my personal channel. So I'm guessing this is gonna go on my personal channel. So hey, if you want to see me react to stuff live on Twitch, you can follow me on Twitch at Tilt Plays or Spawn Trap's Twitch channel at Spawn Trap Games. So that's the tag everywhere. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there. We do I don't do a lot of these solo stream reactions anymore, especially around this time of year, the E3 time, the summertime. We do the group reactions over at Spawn Trap. So that's when we get together. We do our commentary. We do podcasts. That's primarily what the channel is for. Not so much the Twitch channel, but the YouTube channel, the podcasts channel. So if you want to hear a gaming podcast, we actually should be recording one today as I'm streaming this. Hopefully later today we'll be recording one. I'm actually messaging Court about the podcast. So we should be recording that. I actually don't know what we're going to be talking about yet. So I'm sure there's like a bunch of topics that we've had built up because we haven't done one in a while. But Annapurna Interactive, I'm just looking at quick browse through their games because I always forget what games that they publish. I know Stray just came out. Everybody's playing Stray. And I'm sure looking through these games, I'm going to get some spoilers. I did have some spoilers about this because I heard about this on another podcast. So they were talking about Game Pass games that were like announced. So I'm like, huh. Also, there's in September. No, actually, soon. I think next week. Next week is the THQ Nordic showcase. I will definitely be doing that for Spawn Trap. Nobody else has really given me a solid information about availability for that reaction. So I'm probably going to be the only one reacting to that. So the THQ Nordic stream will be for Spawn Trap Games. I think that's happening next week. I can't remember what day. I remember I planned ahead and I was like, okay, that's far enough ahead where I can plan for it. Then I think early September, I think like the first week or second week of September, Ubisoft is doing something. So they're having the Ubisoft Forward. That will also be a Spawn Trap Games one because THQ Nordic and Ubisoft are big ones. Those are ones that like you would expect at E3 or Summer Game Fest, and they had to spread out their own events till later. So it's a different time we're living in. There's not one specific day for announcements for all these publishers where they have to scramble and get everything ready for the big showcase day. Now they can take the time, say we're not ready to showcase our stuff, but we will do it later. Like we will have our own showcase later that we can just focus on us and not have the distractions of everybody else. So maybe good or bad. I don't know. I really don't know if that's going to be good or bad. I think that's for the industry. That's probably better. Maybe you could see it as being worse because there's not like a day where everybody's eyes are on you, but at the same time, there's like less distraction. It's not like because we know for like from last year's E3, it was a mess. There's just filler stuff, and I think a lot of people didn't even realize E3 happened last year because like, I see some reactions like, did they do one last year? Oh yes, we remember that because we did reactions to that, and it was not fun. It was way too long. So having the stuff spread out is nice, but again, we can't properly plan ahead when that happens. So everybody has their own last minute announcements, so it kind of sucks. Anyways, yeah, I'm looking through like Donut County. I played. I thought it was okay. A lot of these other games are big name games that I haven't played, but I know they have done really well, and they're in my backlog. A lot of these games. So I'm very well aware of Annapurna Interactive. I don't think there's a lot of stuff that's like particular to me, but I'm interested to see what they show off. So we're gonna see here if there's anything that I will be adding to my backlog even more for Annapurna Interactive. So they're focusing. The Stray's already out. Oh, Solar Ash is another big one. That's I'm not sure if that's a sequel to Hyperlight Drifter or if that's just the same sort of style. Outer Wilds, yeah. 12 minutes. Stream quality's not great. Only 720p, so yes. Might be checking my phone on and off because
Hello, my name is Kelsey, and welcome to our second annual Annapurna Interactive Showcase. We had the best time sharing all of our latest games and partnerships with you last summer, so this year we're back again to show you what we have in store for 2022 and beyond. Today we'll have about 25 minutes of new reveals, closer looks at games you've seen before, and spotlights on a few developers we are thrilled to be working with. We want to thank our fans and partners all over the world for making this showcase possible. Let's get started.
Thirsty Suitors I heard about. I think this is one of the games I was spoiled for me.
And I'm Meghna Jayanth. Welcome to the joyful and surreal world of Thirsty Suitors.
Thirsty Suitors is an action-adventure RPG about fighting your exes, disappointing your parents, and finding yourself. This is Jala.
She's back in her hometown of Timber Hills after a brutal breakup and has to face everything she left behind. Her immigrant parents' tattered expectations.
Oh no, yeah, this was showed at
Did you love me, Jala?
And the string of messily broken hearts she left in her
It was at one showcase during Summer Game Fest. I want to say Wholesome Games. No, it wouldn't have been Wholesome Games.
Combat with their thirsty ex-suitors. Each suitor battle is a battle with the past.
Where was this? This is probably Gorilla.
Let's look at how combat and narrative work
Gorilla
together
Collective.
during the battle with Jala's third-grade boyfriend, Sergio.
Jala's base attack does damage and builds up her willpower. Taunts reveal your opponent's weaknesses by putting them in a mood.
My mom says I'm irresistible, and my mom is always right.
So let's hit him with a thirsty taunt.
Now Sergio is in a thirsty mood.
What is this game?
His attacks do less damage and have a chance to backfire. When he's in this mood, Jala's thirst skill does way more damage.
In between their attacks and deflections, the player shapes Jala's personality and backstory through choices, which build up her persona.
So this is a
Jala
turn-based.
Getting through to Sergio, he pulls her into his inner world, a psychic landscape where he's the man he imagines himself to be in reality.
What the hell?
Like a turn-based fighting
Sergio's
game
ego makes him invulnerable to attack.
that's based
What's the hell
on.
to do?
Like most South Asian men, all it takes to destroy
Flirting?
Sergio's ego is a single word from his mom.
Jala summons the next best thing.
Oh, I guess
to
she's
help
fighting
win
her
this
exes, so.
psychodrama battle. Her mom.
Based on insults, I guess.
Jala hits Sergio with a rage taunt, which brings all of Sergio's buried resentments.
This is
to
such a
surface.
weird game.
Once this weakness is exposed, we hit him with a rage skill.
The battle ends not with a defeat, but a reconciliation. They've worked through their issues during the battle and can now start again.
I'm sorry I came on so strong, Jala.
As friends, or maybe even something more.
When Jala needs to clear her head, she heads out to an abandoned theme park just outside of town to go skating.
These days it's run by the bear mascot Soundy and his creepy cult of skater punk kids.
Our approach to skating is to make it accessible,
What?
not too punishing, but also add enough depth for folks that really want to get into it. The basics are to keep the combo meter going up for high score.
So it's a skating game too?
Extend the combos on rails, wall runs, manuals.
I don't think this game knows what it is.
For a big score. These are just some of the stories and mechanics packed into Thirsty Suitors. We have so much more to share with our players.
We can't wait for you to join Jala as she confronts her mistakes, makes up with her exes, reconciles her cultural differences, and becomes the person she was meant to be.
Thirsty Suitors is coming to Steam, PlayStation, Switch, and launching into Game Pass. Experience the game for yourself with a Thirsty Suitors Steam demo. Out now.
Man, I'm so confused on what that game is. Hindsight. Game update. Do I know this game?
It's hard not to think about how time has changed the memory of you. How it will continue to change, to shift, until I'm left with a version I've created in my head. I'm packing things up, clearing out your stuff, sorting through memories that twist and turn, depending on the way you look at them. It's hard not to drift into the past.
I think this showcase might be about there's about 20 minutes left. So.
To remember everything all at once.
Is it interactive?
Back when you were still here.
Interactive story game. Is this another game about climate change? That was, if you didn't watch our Summer Game Fest coverage, there was a lot of games about climate change. That was like the theme of Summer Game Fest.
Our studio's called Cardboard Computer, and it's just three of us. So my name's Jake Elliott. I'm the writer in this studio, I guess, in the team, and I also do a lot of programming. Tomas and I kind of share programming.
It's like art, writing, sound.
I was playing music and some touring and making records. I guess I caught Jake in his last year.
We were at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. All three of us were living in Chicago around 2010, I think. Tomas and I wanted to make a video game, and we had a few other ideas before we settled on Kentucky Route Zero.
We brought Ben on for the second.
Also a game that's in my backlog I haven't played.
And that was in the spring of the same year, because we were somehow managed to release the second act in a few months.
It would be Friday night, and we'd be like, okay, I bet if we worked all night tonight, I bet we could publish this game tomorrow morning. And we were like, okay. We would work all night, and it wouldn't be quite done. We'd be like, okay, but I bet we could do Sunday. I bet if we kept going, you know? And it didn't end up being possible, so we had to adjust our expectations a little bit.
7 years, with like another 3 years before that. Learned a lot about our own processes, and I think that's still kind of carrying over into the new project.
Right after KRZ came out, I think we moved directly into this new game.
But the idea has been kicking around for years.
Maybe as old as KRZ.
We're working on a new project. It's the first project we're really seriously focusing on performance as like kind of a core part of the piece.
KRZ, it's like very still, there's not a lot of animation, everything is sort of like these slow, idle tableaus. So we're sort of doing a lot of R&D with making it more lively.
This is a version of like fully animated characters that we can do as a three-person team, basically. This workflow is already just so exciting.
This time we have a lot more knowledge going into it.
The beginning of Kentucky Route Zero was a more staggered sort of development, And now we've known each other for so long and we're so comfortable with each other, and I think that informs making the new work in a way that feels substantial and exciting.
The new game, it's about a different tempo. It's faster and hopefully funnier. And
There's comedy in KRZ.
But it's a tragedy.
But it's a tragedy. It's not a tragic comedy, though.
No, it's just a tragedy, yeah.
Yeah, just a tragedy.
I thought I was done with this life. But I suppose that's not my privilege to possess. Some skill sets are a curse. Maybe someday I'll find the peace in that.
Ooh, I like the mech.
Sadly, today is not that day.
The Western mech game?
I hope tomorrow is different.
Bounty Star, the morose tale of something. That game looks cool. Looks like an action game.
A Link to the Past was the reason I got into making video games. It was from my dad. He passed away, and that was one of the last things that he left. I came back to it when I was in my early teens. It was just a really sentimental and emotional experience. And when I beat it, I was like, oh man, I really want to make an experience like this for someone else. So I started to make my own game, and I would stream the whole process. And I had a pretty active community on Twitch, and Chris was one of the first people. I was thinking, how am I going to make this game alone? Then one day, he started typing in my chat. He said, do you have a mic? That's how it all got started.
Hey, I'm Chris Hoffman. I'm the programmer at a company that Fabian and I started called Yarn Owl. I work in Austin, and Fabian works in Atlanta. We've been working full-time on the project together for a little over a year and never met. Hey, how's it going?
That's crazy. They've worked together for over a year and never met.
This is Fabian.
First time I'm meeting Alma.
She's very excited about all this.
She's very excited. Like, I've talked to Alma as much as I've talked to Chris.
And then, you can hold it again to charge again, and
Cool.
hold it again to charge again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
After work, we both come home and start working on the game. Then at the end of 2020, I shot him a message one day and I said, hey, are we really gonna make this game? He said, yeah. I quit my job that day. And then in 2021, we started Yarn Owl.
I was like, man,
That's
he
awesome.
is fully on board. So from that point, I just figured that he would be the best person to work with. He does everything code and I do everything art. We'll just hop in a meeting for like a good hour, but then it ends up being like 3 hours, 4 hours, because we get excited just talking about different ideas. It was definitely emotional. Now all of this is happening and all of this is real. If I didn't get A Link to the Past from my dad or even Wind Waker later from my mom, just getting those games as a kid is what motivates me now to want to make an experience just like that.
That's awesome. What was the game called? I didn't notice. Outer Wilds.
Hey, it's been a little while, and I just wanted to reassure everyone that no, you did not collectively hallucinate our announcement of Outer Wilds for the Nintendo Switch. Now, it's possible we were a bit over-optimistic on the time frame. At this point, it's possible we just fundamentally misunderstand the Gregorian calendar, but it's still happening, and we're working hard to bring a great version of Outer Wilds to the Switch. Thank you for your patience. We'll have new info for you as soon as possible.
Is it going to be a cloud version?
With that said, we also have some good news.
Probably a cloud version, right? Next gen upgrade? It's definitely going to be a cloud version for Switch. I keep forgetting I have a different layout for these reaction streams whenever I pan over to my camera or the preview image. I'm like, whoa, why is my screen so big? Yeah, you can see more of my face. I just realized I don't have to have a square webcam for this stuff. I can have a vertical webcam. So I can have more of the screen. Path of, I think I've heard of this game too. Yeah, I think I've seen this game. Maquette we've seen. I think. This looks familiar. The name's familiar too. Also on Game Pass. Are there no PlayStation games? Like, well, there's the one PlayStation game, they said. A lot of these seem to be Switch and Game Pass.
Your every move intensifies my pain. Your blind ambition, all your good intentions. Everything you touch turns to ash.
Steam exclusive? Solar Ash? Oh, okay. Oh, maybe. Hey, but okay, what platforms for Game Pass? Because if it's Steam exclusive to start at launch, is just Game Pass PC? Is this not coming out for Xbox? That's interesting. Oh, really? I've heard this name and I've heard it's a really good game. I did not imagine that that's what that game looked like. I was looking at him like a classic. What is this? I need to play that game because that looks interesting.
For a long time, I didn't even know that I wanted to make games, and I always loved writing stories in school.
I think I own a lot of Annapurna interactive games. I just haven't played them yet.
Maybe I can combine those two.
They're always given away for free, or they're on Game Pass, or they're Prime Gaming.
Kid. I like working in these creative programs, and those were the first steps of kind of like expressing myself.
My name is Kai, and I'm a writer and one of the co-founders of Third Shift.
I do own What Remains
of
of Edith
and
Finch
one of the co-founders of Third Shift.
On PC.
Right now we're in the west of Germany, in my apartment, which is at the same time the headquarters of our little company. When we started thinking about our project, did a lot of brainstorming actually on.
So that was a free giveaway
this,
at some point.
balcony here, and this was when the idea was born.
Forever Go is a story-driven road trip adventure game where you play as Alfred, an elderly man who embarks on a journey in his trusty van. The story is inspired by a trip I took down the Pacific coast. Fabian and I were always interested in the diverse landscapes in North America, and that's where a lot of the inspiration came from.
When Kai was about to go on this road trip, he asked me to lend him my camera. After he came back, he shared that book with me, like as a thank you.
This was actually taken in the middle of nowhere. You can drive for hours on end, and there's just no one. And this was just crazy to see.
Yeah, we have a scene just like this in the game.
Alfred was the first thing we had.
Character model of Alfred didn't always look like this. This is what Alfred used to look like. We started redesigning Alfred and making him a little bit more lifelike.
Alfred's main purpose is to document this trip. Usually the games that stuck most with us are story-driven games.
I'm just excited to see when people actually play this thing in the future. And I hope this will be very soon.
This Annapurna Interactive published Flower. This game has a similar sort of vibe for me. Flock. Here's the PlayStation games. Wait, what? Santa Monica. Oh, this. Oh, this is. Wait, hold on. Do I know what this is? Never mind. I don't know. I thought this was something else. My dyslexia there. I thought I'd been diagnosed with that. I feel like I shouldn't say anything. I saw Tom Cruise and I realized what it said before the thing. Oh. It's just that little teaser. All you had to say from the creator of Katamari. We're going all over the place. This is not one straight line. We're just going all over the globe back and forth.
Guide like a gushing river. Often people reach for stories they've already heard. We really want to pull from our own experience as much as possible because it feels the most kind of real. I'm Laura. I'm the director at Dreamfield. This is the Hellfire Club. Way back when Dreamfield started, this is one of the first places we came for like research.
Ireland is full of ruins, and those ruins speak to a history of violence sometimes, a history of change as well.
Dreamfield started as a label for my own work, and then I met Leah.
It was just going to be a few sessions, but it turned into like a full-time week just exploring.
We developed loads of ideas, and one of them became If Found. Suddenly there was a dynamic. We're like playing off each other, and then as more and more people come in, kind of like grows its own identity. I think like creativity is when you bring like one like random idea from here and one random idea from somewhere else and like see how they could join or like what they could do together. And when you have lots of team members, that just happens. It's really important to me that we have the energy and we enjoy it when we come here. So like today, instead of showing computer screens, I wanted to show like Dreamfield as like all of these people coming together. The new game is set in kind of like a fantasy version of Ireland. Probably the most obvious first detail is that all the characters are cats.
Of course, yeah.
I think art-wise we have something very unique. We have themes that I think are very relevant these days, about coming together in the face of adversity.
Everything drowned will someday rise from the deep. The eerie message and theme of our game. And lots of cute cats.
The goal is to be creative together and make something that is worthwhile.
Well, I think what's fantastic about Dreamfield is that whether you're working on the music or the art or the programming, you're really invited to like bring your best to the table. Everyone kind of leaves a mark on it, which is really nice.
In a lot of ways, I think Dreamfield has become more polished as we've gone on. I think this game will feel more polished even compared to Found, but I hope that we still bring that edge of like exploration and adventure into it.
Game reveal. Okay, I don't think this one was both for me. Different art style than everything else we've seen so far. dinosaurs. Survival game. This feels like a Jurassic Park movie. Oh shit. That looks cool.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our second annual Annapurna Interactive Showcase. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you all again next summer.
There was one last year? Why am I just finding out about these? I think there's another showcase that happened a while in between this and like the other Summer Game Fest shows, and we just decided not to do that one. I can't remember what it was for. Oh, Ubisoft had one for their pirate game. Can't remember what it is. Okay. Like I said, that's the interaction video. Again, we do group reactions over on our YouTube channel for Spawn Trap. Go to thespawntrap.com, or I'll have a link to it in the description down below. That's where you'll find all of the links that we have for our YouTube channel. That's the primary one. That's where we do our video podcasts, our gaming podcasts, as well as some Marvel ones. I'm trying to plan another one soon because the Comic-Con just happened, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And also Miss Marvel just ended. She-Hulk's on the way. So we got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. On the gaming side, we have the video podcast. We also have the audio podcast. So links to all the feeds and everything to get those podcasts will be on that link. So definitely go check it out. And I'm streaming live on Twitch. Sometimes no set schedule anymore. It's all random. Unfortunately, I can't commit to a consistent schedule because my availability is just all over the place all the time. Case in point, I can't do a lot of late night streams like I usually do, except for on my days off for the month of August. It looks like so it's gonna be weird. It'll be a weird schedule, but just make sure that you follow, that you turn on notifications so you know when I go live. If Twitch notifications don't work for you, I also post when I go live on Discord and Twitter. That stuff will be posted down below too. I'm sorry for the background noise. AC's on because it's hot. And I'm nice and cool right now. But thanks for watching. For Twitch stream, I will be back. I'll be playing some games. Not 100% sure yet. Just gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back and we'll play something. So.